Hey guys, welcome. So this video is going to be dedicated to my latest blood test results at the end of January 2019. So just a little bit of background. I've been on a keto diet for almost 2 years, and during that time I've been constantly monitoring my bloods and my performance and how I feel, because there doesn't seem to be a lot of long-term evidence around this sort of dieting style. So it can't be too careful when it comes to trying to keep an eye on things that we can. So anyway, I'm just going to rush through the things that are of little significance. So I've got my full blood panel, everything's perfect there. I've got my thyroid function, everything's perfect there. Also have my liver function and there's no complaints there. I have my renal function, which is all good. I have my magnesium levels, which is well within the normal range. I have my calcium studies, which is well within the normal range. I have my vitamin B12. Now this one is a little bit high outside of the reference range, which seems to be a little bit common when you are eating a predominantly red meat diet, but at this point there's no concern on that one either. Now my hemoglobin A1C is at 4.8 millimole, which is smack bang in the middle of the reference range. Now I have my vitamin D. So ever since I tested my vitamin D, even prior to a keto diet, my vitamin D has always been low. Now between July and October, I tried to get a lot of sun. I tried to eat animal products that were higher in vitamin D, and the highest I could push it up to was 53, which is still quite low. So at this point it's 48 at the end of January, and I've actually just started supplementing with a vitamin D supplement. So it'll be interesting to see what that does moving forward. However, with this low vitamin D, it's very common for lots of people, yet I don't have any symptoms of low vitamin D. So hopefully I can push it back into the reference range, but whether or not that will be beneficial, we'll just have to wait and see. Alright, so another interesting one, testosterone. Now the first time I tested my testosterone was July 2018, and it was a standard simple test that just told me the total testosterone, which was high. Then at October, at the end of the keto cut, where I was depleted after a 100-day diet and getting in the best shape I've ever been in and the lowest body fat I've ever been in. However, not the healthiest I've ever been. You can see here that my testosterone actually plummeted to half its original level. But then after rebounding from the keto cut at the end of January, it's actually gone back to almost as high as it was before. However, this time we've had a more in-depth breakdown on the testosterone, and when you break it down, it actually shows that my free testosterone is quite low. But in saying that, I've never had a baseline to test that against, and I do have a couple of things that I'm going to implement to try and bring that up. So that will now be the baseline, and moving forward I'll try and manipulate my diet and supplementation just a little bit to see if I can't bring that free testosterone up, and hopefully that will improve my performance. Anyway, the next one is vitamin C. Once again, I'd never had the vitamin C tested until October 2018, and at that point, the end of the keto cut, it actually showed critically low in the vitamin C. Now, once again, this is a controversial thing because it has been widely discussed that if you don't ingest glucose, then you don't need as much vitamin C. And although my vitamin C was critically low, I didn't have any symptoms of low vitamin C. I didn't get sick, my skin health was fine, I was feeling and performing the best I'd ever felt or performed. So it's still debatable whether the vitamin C is an issue. In saying that though, I decided to start supplementing vitamin C. So as of October, I started supplementing with 1,000 milligrams daily. And as you can see here, that has done the trick, and my vitamin C is back within the top half of the reference range now. So moving forward, I'll continue to supplement vitamin C unless I can find a reason not to. Okay, so the inflammation marker. This is the high sensitive CRP, which is basically overall inflammation throughout your body. And ever since I've been testing that, I've been on a ketogenic dieting style. Now the lowest reading I've had was at the end of the keto cut, my most depleted stage, the lowest body fat, and it was at 0.2. It's actually rebounded back to 0.51. Anything below 1 is considered low. So at 0.51 it's extremely low anyway, so there's no issues there. In saying that, that number could be inflated because the lead up to this blood test was 4 nights of night shift and a 30-hour period awake the day prior to the blood test. So that potentially could have pushed up that inflammation. Add that with the fact that I work fly in, fly out, so I also had to travel in there. So, but at 0.51, it's of no concern. Now, the one that many people are interested in or are worried about, the cholesterol. So, ever since, like I said, ever since I've been keto, my cholesterol has been climbing, and at the end of October it was the highest I'd ever had at 20.7 millimole total, yet the triglycerides were at 1.6, which is pretty stable for me, and the HDL was at 2.4 millimole, which is also considered not too bad. So at the end of January it's come back at 19.7 on this particular test, with a triglyceride still at 1.6. However, for some reason it didn't give me an LDL or a HDL breakdown. But anyway, I also got the lipid subfractions, which is a more in-depth breakdown of the cholesterol itself. Now on this one it has the total cholesterol at 20.96, it has the triglycerides at 1.7, and it has the total LDL at 16.69. So if you subtract those from the total, it gives me a HDL of 2.57. Now that's actually risen, and as far as conventional methods go, that 2.57 is actually favourable as far as the HDL. Now there's a lot of numbers here and I don't quite understand it all. However, in consultation with my doctor, at this point, this high cholesterol, we're not concerned about. And if you're in a similar situation with high cholesterol, yet every other blood marker is in the normal range, and you're feeling the best you've ever felt, you're performing the best you've ever performed, and you've been improving your health throughout your ketogenic journey, then that cholesterol test probably isn't worth as much weight as you would think. Now, if you're really worried about your high cholesterol, what you should do is either get a coronary calcium scan, which looks for the calcified plaques within the artery to see if that high cholesterol is causing a problem or if it's not causing a problem. Now, I went even one step further and I got a CT angiogram at the end of October. And the CT angiogram shows that my calcium score is 0, so 0 calcified plaques within the arteries, and there's no soft plaques within the artery walls. So yes, my cholesterol may be the highest my doctor's ever seen. However, I'm lucky that my doctor is on board with the ketogenic lifestyle and is happy for me to continue doing this extensive blood work and to keep looking. Because clearly from a CT angiogram it shows that I'm at 0 risk of heart disease currently. So although my cholesterol's been high or extremely high for the last 2 years, it's not causing a problem at this stage. But like I always say, we don't know what's going to happen long term, so I'm going to continue to monitor, because we can see if something does come up that's unfavorable, at that point I can adjust the diet to suit. But I mean, we don't know what's going to happen long term with a ketogenic diet, but we do know what's going to happen long term with a standard diet. Just take a look around. The population's never been so sick, unhealthy, obese, suffering from chronic illnesses and childhood diabetes, all these problems that never used to exist. That's what's going to happen if you stick with a standard diet. And like I say, I mean, as far as these blood test results go, I'm comparing my results to a reference range that has been designed for somebody who eats a standard diet. So to say that my reference range matches this reference range would be foolish, because there is no reference range for me to match up on. So like a lot of other people have said, if you're feeling the best you've ever felt, you're performing the best you've ever performed, and you're improving your health, your body weight, your body composition, then how can it be bad? I mean, I'm the strongest I've ever been. So that's just a brief breakdown of my current blood test results. And if you would like to discuss these results in more detail, just shoot me a message on the Instagram or on the Keto Down Under Facebook page, and I'll be more than happy to discuss these results further. But at this point in my carnivorous ketogenic lifestyle, I literally cannot find a reason to change or add plants back at this point. So there you have it, guys. That's a bit of a rant on my behalf. Hopefully you gain something from this, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.